Hello, this is a video on how to use the classification manager. So it's an overview and some, I suppose, what we may consider in ArcDoc's best practices. I'm just opening up a project here, and let me see. I'll just go to a 3D view, just to show you what we're working with. Okay, so we have this model here with various items that we want to add the classification manager or classifications to. So the first thing we can look at is the actual classification manager. So I'm just going to click on Addins, because when you install it, it's installed in Addins, and this is it here. And if you don't have it installed, you have to go to BIM interoperability tools, and you'll find classification manager there. Now there's individual installs for 2013 up to Revit 2017, so make sure it's the correct one. And we also have some links on the document to these pages here, the installation process, and also an overview on how to use it. Now I'm going to go over some of this anyway in this video, so let's jump back over to Revit, and I'm going to click on Setup. So I'll go to Addins, Classification, Setup, presented with this screen here, just asking us what database do we want to use, and the use default UK database is Uniclass 2015, up to date till April anyway, April 2016. So when you click Finish, when you click Finish, what it does is it adds all the parameters into the family. So if I click on, let's say, duct here, and I go and I can see I have now 4 new parameters in that duct and a lot of families. So if I just go to Manage and Project Parameters, you'll see there's about 8 or 9 parameters there. They're added in. If I click on, let's say, Product Number, Classification Uniclass Product Number, that PR is product. Click on Modify, you can see that it's added into a lot of different parameters or different categories here. So we have air terminals all the way down to structural and walls. So you can see it's mainly deals with actual model entities, I suppose virtual physical elements. Okay, so if you want to if you want to ever find out exactly what it's doing, you can go and have a look and see where it's added them parameters. So I'm after running it, so it's after adding them parameters in there. And in the document we say that we think the best way to add the parameters is using the schedules within Revit or a 3D view. I'll show you the 3D view after I've done the schedules, so we'll come back to this view soon, but I'll just go to schedules here, right click and new, and I'm just going to go with a new air terminal, and I'm going to put class in front of that just to split it out from the other schedules there. So class for classification, I'll just go OK, and I'm going to add in the way that we advise to do it. This is the way you'll do it for most of them. The multi-category and material category schedules would be done just like the multi-category would have category at the start. That's the only real difference between this between this normal category and a multi-category. So I want to add in count as well. And now I'm going to sorting and grouping. I'm going to sort by family and type. I want to split them by the header, which is going to be the family. And we don't want to itemize every instance. We're only interested in the types, because that's where most of the parameters are added. So totals only, and just give us a total there. Okay, so if I click OK, we'll have our family and our types. So we see we've only got so we've got our families and types. Actually, I have to go back and give this a header as well. Nope. Just going to see why isn't that coming up. I'm going to go itemize every instance, because that type there should be showing something. equals itemize every instance, round, okay. So you can see the one that has 113 is the 600 by 600 250 by 200. Okay, so we want to undo that, and we will, okay, that's my mistake. Let me see. Yes, I was wondering why it was giving me that. Okay, so you can see that if you try and blast through something, you might make a mistake like I did. So, right, that's what I was expecting. I wanted to see individual entries for each type. That's all. Okay, so I'm going to go and start adding in. I'm just going to add in one or two. So to add a parameter 2 here, I can just highlight them, go to my add-ins, go to Classification Manager, assign classification, and it automatically filters this by into the air terminals because it's air terminals in Revit, but that won't always be the case. So you can go and select whatever you want from this drop down. Right, so we'll go air diffusers and just watch that sneaky little tick there. Blanks only. If you have that ticked, it will work the first time, but then if you make a mistake and you go to reassign classification, it will not add it because of that little tick there. So I'm just going to go finish, and it adds in the classification description and number or code there. Okay, and that's after doing it for 6 of them. So we could come along here, rectangular diffuser for these 108. Go to the classification manager again, and let me see. It's not external. What are they supply? Rectangular grills, I suppose. Just it is diffusers, and it is diffusers. They're all diffusers there. So I'll just go finish, and now you see they're actually a grill, exhaust grill. So here I can go back to classification manager. I want to change that to an air grill. Click finish, and it changes it. Okay, so we could do this for the rest of them as well, but you can. Here's one. I can select that actually I can go back into the family and just untick the header. Let's go OK, and let's just say okay, we have this grill diffuser. These diffusers are all the same, so I can just edit the schedule a little bit. Go here, classification, just give them all diffusers, click finish, and that has them all there. I'll add that one to this one. Shame you can't grill. Actually, grills, they're all going to be the same there. I can add them grills, diffuser, there, and finally a grill here. Grills there. Okay, so after assigning the classifications to that, so that's 309 elements that have their classifications assigned to them now. So you can see using this, it can be nice and quick to use, but I'm just going to go back into the 3D view, and yeah, we have this here, and what was explained in the video was, I'll just go into my visibility graphics. This could be handy in certain instances, so I'm just going to remove all the filters, and I'm going to add a new filter, create a new one. It's going to call it air term. So air terminals, click on that, go there, and we want to make sure it does not equals nothing. Okay, so I'll just go OK, and air term, add that in. Patterns, I'll just give it a color that jumps out at you. So I'll just go OK, and that should then, any of the air terminals should then actually have, yeah, so we have all the air terminals now have one of them. So I could go in here and I could just get rid of that and rid of that. Go OK, and you can see all the colors, all them types have do not have a color applied to them now. Okay, so I can just undo that and do that. So you can do it in 3D view, or even in a plan view, any view, including schedules. But schedules just are nice and clean, and you know what you're getting. You know, you can see what exactly it is without having to click on it, or what exactly its name is. So I would advise to use that way, and then in certain instances you could use your 3D view. So let me see. Right, these classifications here. I wouldn't want to go and make another 10 of them. It wouldn't be nice to have to create all them all the time. So I've actually got another project. Let me see, where is it though? I just have to find it, I suppose. So I think I have a sandbox open somewhere. Demo, and is it this one? Nope. Nope. Okay, I'm just gonna save this. I'm not gonna save it in samples. I'll just do the bold thing and save it on my desktop and close it down. So this could be a work process. What I'm going to show you is basically copying schedules from one project into another. So I can just close that down. And that was the last one I had open up here, and it was this project here. Okay, I put together some schedules in this project, so we can just go directly into here. I'll navigate down to, you can see we've got a, I don't know, 15 odd 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 23, 24 schedules there. And there could be a lot more if it wasn't for this multi-category schedule here. Okay, so I'm going to open up the project I just saved onto this one here. This is the project we had open. I'm just going to copy and paste these in. There's no need for the air terminal, because the air terminal schedule, because our terminals are actually within the multi-category schedule. So right, we have that project. I'm going to skip back in. I can highlight all of them, and I'm going to take off the material one for a sec. Okay, I'm going to Control C. It's that simple. I just hit Control C, and the trick when you're in this project is to make sure you're actually in a view, not in a, if I go into this schedule view here and then click here and paste, nothing happens. Okay, I have to be in an actual view of the model, so a graphical view. And now when I hit paste, I should get a warning coming up, or no, I just get everything popping straight in. Okay, and you can see we've got our multi-category here. We've already see the way it picked up them air terminals, so copying and pasting schedules does not affect the model really. The way these are set up would definitely not. And you can see we've got a lot of elements here. Now there's a list of what's included and what's not included in the document, so I'm not going to go through all of that now. But again, cable tray here, let's say if we were to add in cable trays, we could select and go, these are all going to be part of a specific type. Okay, let me see, do we have lighting? Yes, so we have our lighting fixtures here. Pendants, linear, so we have two linear types here. I could just add them too, and that would get rid of what over 80 elements. So if you spent a while going through the multi-category schedule first and assigning the correct classifications to it, it's nice and quick to do it this way. Okay, so I'll go back to them lights. Where are we? And alright, I'll just go highlight them pendants. add-ins, assign classification, and we have light and fixtures, so luminaires, and let me see, down lights, no. Let me see, lighting tracks. See, self-contained, surface luminaires, suspended. Okay, so pendant lights suspended. Okay, and we've added that in there. You could carry on and do that. So all of this will should be already. This information should be ready for you to put in beforehand. The project deliverables should be either in an Excel, or you have them printed out, so you know what you're putting it in. So you're not actually going selecting these and then going to assign classification and then going, okay, which one will it put in? Okay, you should know beforehand before you get into this what you're going to be assigning. Okay, so right, copying schedules across, that's fine. Now there may be instances where you want to actually add products to materials. So like in wall build-ups, you may have different layers that have made with different products, and it's not just one system. Okay, so in that case, you'd want to be adding your materials to, the classifications to your materials. But if I go into manage parameters and I go to, let's say, product, okay, product description, modify, I want to add it into materials, and I can't. Materials is not accessible here because materials are, the way that they work within Revit, are considered instances. You don't have like a material type and then you don't have a material family and then build up and then different material types of that family. You just have a material. Okay, so we can't actually use this classification unit class product description. What we have to do is add our own, and this is in the document as well. So if I just go to add, schedule, select, I've already set up these material classification parameters here. So I'm going to add the material classification description. I'm looking for instance. I'm looking for materials, and I'm also going for, I think it's identity data. Okay, I'll just go in there. Instance, that's fine. Go OK, OK. Again, I'll add the next one. So first one was description. I'll go for number now, and I'll go into material, and we're going for identity data. And right, added that in. Now, if I go back and back again, I've already got a multi-category material takeoff material in here, and I have it set up, and there's already actually, I tested it out. I put loads of parameters in here. These are not actual numbers, or just random numbers I put in just for testing, and they're all individual numbers, so I knew if they actually worked or not. This and that is just text that was put in. So I'm just going to copy this multi-material category, okay, like I did before, and I'll just go into the next project, make sure I'm in it here, copy and paste, or paste, and that should, there we go, we have it in here. It's the exact same layout. I don't have any of the data in these material descriptions here at the moment, or sorry, no classifications here. Okay, so also just something to note, the material category material takeoff, or the multi-category material takeoff, if we go in to here and add in these classifications, these are the ones that we were working with before, so I'll just add them in to the end, and I'll just go across and down. You see we've assigned them materials here, but if you were to use, I would advise you not to copy these in because they can be confusing. These apply to the elements, not to the materials. Okay, so if you are doing it, I would say take them off. Excuse me. just to keep it nice and clean. And you can manually input and put whatever you require in here, or you can use a Dynamo script to push it out and then fill it in and put it back in. Let me see. So we have all these categories here. Air terminal, we don't actually need air terminal because, as I said, it's already taken up, so we can actually delete that and go back to our multi-category, and we can see our air terminals are all up here and all ready to go. Okay. Right. I'll go back to multi-category, and as I said, you can fill these in manually. For some reason, I could not export this multi-category material takeoff. I don't think you can with the add-in, the free add-in that I've used. But I have used Dynamo to push out all of this information, or sorry, just the material information, and then pull it back in. So just let it kick up now. I'm just going to show you quickly over here, and I don't know if you can see that now. Right, I'm going to go for material export. Okay. So I have this script that just goes in and finds all the materials and then exports it to material here. So I'm just going to, again, I'll go to my desktop and just give it a like that, so I can find it fairly quickly. And actually, that should be XLSX. I think that's it anyway. And I think we're okay to go. I'm just going to disconnect this first and run, and it should come up with, yeah, that's all of the information. So I'll just run that again, and we'll go in here, have a look, and this is the Excel. Yep. So if I just highlight them four and then double click on the middle, just expand out, so I can put whatever I want in here. The description, and then in number, I'm just going to put 1 and T, and count all the way up down to there. I always give them a unique number just for checking, and I'll bring this down to here. Now, you don't have to do it for every single one, all your materials. You may only have 10 or 15 materials, or none, depending on the project. But I'm just going to save this. But in some cases, you may want to do it. So I'm just showing you that you can. So I'm just going to close that down. I open up the importer. I could have it all in one, but I don't. I go X down here. Alrighty, I think that's all okay. I could explain this, but I'd be here for another while. So I'll just run again. And that's dragging all of that information back in and putting them into the same materials that they came out of. Okay, so I'll just give that a sec. I know you can't see it right now, but Dynamo's just chugging away there in the background. It's taking a little bit longer than expected. I'll just close that. Okay, it's after giving me an error. This happens. Okay, let me just see what's in there. That should be fine. Alright, it's not after bringing in the numbers. Okay, I think I know why. Right, it's after bringing them in as actual. It's after bringing them as numbers, bringing them into Dynamo and Revit as numbers, and what we created was actually a text file. So what I'm just doing is I'm saying read everything in as a number, or as a string, so not a number. I'll just hit run again, and that should get through it. Okay, materials in there, so Right, there we go. That was it. So just go back here. Now we've got all the numbers in. Right, so that was my mistake. I didn't add in that little node. But you can see if there was only 10, 15 you wanted to add in, you can type them in here, or you can push it out into Excel and do it a little easier, be a little nicer to yourself and do it there. So that's just a quick overview of how to do that. And I'd say, yeah, I'd say just get used to it. It's not that hard. Okay, so right, Revit's after crashing, but it's grand. I was expecting it to do that. So I'm not sure if it's because of keyboard shortcuts in schedules or whatever, but yeah, you can assign them fairly quickly using them processes we were shown. So if you have the document, just read over it and you should be okay. Okay, all right, good luck.